Hi, I'm Heather Mathers.
I'm Rebecca Curran, and this is the 21 Pilots audience research pathway that we've created. First, we used images from the band and album covers and from the tour posters to kind of create an overlooking view of what the band were like, so looking from the outside.
So this is our initial assumptions. We initially thought they'd be the struggler because we thought they'd live for today, maybe they'd be seen as victim losers and wasters, and that they'd value like visual impact and physical sensations. They think they were the most important, and they'd seek the band as an escape, like they'd want to be a bit different.
These are the pictures that we kind of took from the internet to kind of see what the band were like. So masks, outfits, costumes. We see Tyler on the piano, so kind of like stunts, and balaclava, so a really extreme kind of form of kind of not showing identity, and flipping from piano, hamster ball in the audience, and kind of singing from like a really high pedestal in the audience. So we kind of got an awareness of what kind of band were in terms of interacting with the audiences and at live shows, etc.
And then the band assumptions, we thought that through their kind of costumes, which kind of punky, rocky, emo sort of vibe, and then so that's kind of what we thought would reflect on the fans, and also along with their masks and balaclavas, like their crazy and dyed hair and black and red face paint. We thought these types of qualities would then obviously mirror onto the audience as they take inspiration from them, or so.
Okay, so here we've got some fans that we took from online, and as you can see, they've got like skeleton face paint on and crazy dyed hair. They look a bit different and unique, which kind of really reflects the band in themselves. So here people are mimicking the balaclavas, and you can see like just the amount of fans that they have, and we thought that they mirror the quirky and inspired style, and they weren't afraid to express themselves. They weren't afraid of society and society's differences. And then we found that mostly it's women, but there is boys, as you can see. There is mixed gender. It's not a complete band dominated by females and fangirls, etc.
And then this is also some more like song lyrics that we thought maybe would kind of reflect the band, reflect the fans, and maybe inspire them. It's kind of like, I'm a goner, somebody catch my breath, I want to be known by you. Sometimes quiet is violent, fear might be the death of me. We just thought they'd be a bit different, a bit unique, because that's the way the band kind of wants to portray themselves. So they'd want to kind of be the same as the band in a way.
And once upon research, we found that the fans most valued their lyrics and their individuality. So this kind of reflects what fans are looking for and what they kind of find that is important for the band to do, especially like staying true to themselves, lyrics that are speaking to them and aren't just overwhelmed with their success.
And then overall our assumptions were kind of they'd be females mostly, but there would be some males in the fans. They'd be quite a young audience from 15 to 21, and we thought they'd be the typical angsty sort of teen, wanting to be a bit rebellious, a bit different. And then we also thought they'd maybe have crazy dyed hair, as shown in like the pictures. That's where we got our assumptions from. And that they'd maybe have lots of piercings and wear a lot of black. And that's quite the typical grungy sort of look that we thought. Also, we thought their personality would be a bit rebellious and loud, because that's what we think the band is, so then it kind of reflect on them.
Okay, so for question one, the question we did was, what is your gender? And as you can see, it's predominantly female, but we decided to reach out to as far as we did, so we did female, male and other, and we found that by posting this on a YouTube video, we gained control of the gender. We kind of lost the control that we wanted, because most people of like the current age will go on YouTube and they're younger, but here we kind of got a diverse male, female, even though it's predominantly female. We did like put in the comment section if they were a fan of 21 Pilots, they should see what foresee the audience of the band was. So we could see there's more female fans, but it's not completely specific. So it kind of shows that fans like their music no matter what the gender. The songs appeal to them no matter what gender they are, which kind of proves our assumptions that it was mostly female and the majority is female, but there is a wide variety. There's still room for kind of everyone to listen to their music.
And then question 2 is kind of similar in the way that like ages, maybe not as many older people go online, so we maybe not get the full range of fans. but we did find out that 12 to 15-year-olds, there was a 48% people who entered the survey, and then 16 to 20, 42% was that. So then that does coincide with our assumptions that they would be about 15 to 22 years old. But it also did show that they were a little bit younger than 15 to 22, so that's just a bit different to our assumptions. But that could also be linked to maybe us putting it on the music video, so then less older people maybe went on the music video, but it's just...
So for question 3 we did how many piercings do you have? And our assumptions was that they'd have quite a lot, or more than 2, things like that, just not 0 to be honest, but that's what we found. We found that most people didn't have any, and that 58% of people had no piercings at all, and only 4% have 7 or more, which we expected the most popular. So from 4 kind of upwards, we've expected there to be quite there's still some, there's still a variety, there's still difference, but there was predominantly no people that had any piercings, which went against all our assumptions.
Question 4 is, what is your current hair colour? Because we thought our assumptions would be that it'd be really eccentric, we kind of just predicted that maybe the more extreme colours would be more popular, but however we were kind of proven wrong, with 50% of the responses being with brown, so we presume that's natural sort of hair. So that shows how we were wrong, as the most popular one was brown, black and blonde.
And then we've got eccentric colours. So we did have a variety like red, green, pink, purple, and then other colours. It does show that there is a fan base that are out there that are kind of different, which you would expect for typical pop bands. So we were proven right to an extent, but there were still majority normal natural hair colours to fans.
And then question 5, we wanted to know what sort of genre that they'd listen to, and we thought that 21 Pilots went under the alternative, so we thought that would be the most popular, but then we found out that they do enjoy quite a range of different genres as well, because you can see there's rock and indie, pop, and then obviously alternative is very popular, but there was quite a range of popular genres, so that shows that we were kind of right in a way about them liking alternative, like 21 Pilots, but it shows that they like a variety in a way.
And then for our question 6, we did what is your go-to outfit daily. So this we thought would kind of reflect from the band to the fans, and we thought that we must predominantly black and kind of dark colours, which we kind of went to the kind of outfit to see if they preferred relaxed band t-shirt or just to dress up with dresses, etc. And we found that the most that people liked was black skinny jeans and a plain t-shirt or a band tee. And that was kind of our assumptions, that they would prefer more plain, more rather than statement, flowery kind of things. But we did find out that tracksuit bottoms, comfy jumper, a beanie, ripped jeans, all of them kind of things were also liked. So it's there's a variety of people like different things, but it was no outright winner in this. This shows that the audience of 21 Pilots do favour simplistic, so our assumptions were right in this aspect.
And then question 7 is, what other artists do you listen to? And we found that quite overwhelmingly that Panic at the Disco was quite a popular one, which has been compared to 21 Pilots, which shows they do kind of favour similar sort of bands. Then also it was Fall Out Boy, who's also been compared as well. And then that shows, so it shows that we were correct in our assumptions, that they kind of like to stick to the same sort of bands, and it shows there we go 69.07 got Fall Out Boy, so it was a very popular choice.
Yeah, and as soon as Panic at the Disco and 21 Pilots are produced by the same company, Fueled by Ramen, we kind of just thought that maybe the audiences kind of made links between the production company. Maybe this is the reason Panic at the Disco is so popular, but then Fall Out Boy aren't. So we kind of thought maybe they just value the kind of things that each band presents. So we were right overall. So for this one we did Why Do You Like 21 Pilots? This is question 8, and we picked out ones that, because we got quite a lot of responses, and we picked out the ones that matched up to our assumptions. So we've got I just 21 Pilots because it's my escape and I can't deal with life problems anymore, and that shows how these people seek escape, shows our assumption that the audience of 21 Pilots fit into the category of the struggler. It shows their motives to find release. And then we found that through more because they make genuine music with deep and meaningful lyrics that rocks the soul and more. They feel like they have a weird connection to their songs, showing lifestyle messages ever since they've been listening to it. There's a weird twisted sense of relief listening to 21 Pilots, and that kind of showed how they respond to bands that offer new sensations, indulgence and instant effects, which matches The Struggler. So we kind of were right in our assumptions here. And this question was what makes 21 Pilots different to other artists? And we kind of, someone said just as hot, so is Tyler. And we thought this shows how the admiration and awareness for the physical appearance, so we kind of knew that, we knew what fan base we were towards, so like mainly like fangirls and teenagers, and kind of matched it to The Struggle and how they are aware of bands and how they look and how they present themselves, and that is something that people do admire. And then we've got their style's really unique. Have you heard any other band that have rap, screamo, punk and rock music with ukuleles before? So uniqueness is key here. We found that as a running theme throughout all of our research. The mirror ideas between both the band itself and the fans. This new mix of genres is living for today without any consideration of societies need to have a specific genre and a particular way to present themselves. So this is very much matching The Struggler as well. And then we've got more they have a unique style of genre with the genre is undescribable. They most people divide them into alternatives that makes them different from others. These are really relatable lyrics, so they attract wider audiences. The way of expressing themselves through music is different from many other bands I've listened to. I feel hits right on the perfect spot. So they respond to, but once again, they respond to bands with new sensations, new ideas, new ways to present themselves, and just something that they've never heard before, relatable, is kind of key with all the fans.
But also alongside, we'll talk about later about how they kind of go into the explorer sort of thing now because they want difference and something unique, as said before.
And then for question 10 this is the last question we put a statement out and said 21 Pilots is a predominantly younger audience, how far do you agree with this and why? And people said that despite their attention on the soft-spokenness of the band members, the music is unpredictable, energetic and odd. There's a level of angst in the chords, messages and the edge that better resonates with a younger audience. Adults won't be able to connect as well as the result. This links to our assumption of angsty teens and how adults won't really be able to relate very well, but we did find that there were some adults that kind of thought, people did think they went, like here, I agree that it's predominantly younger fans, but us old guys can enjoy it as well. It's from like I'm 45, my wife is 47. Ty's honesty in his lyrics relate to a lot of indecision of youth and the struggle and pressure of needing to know where your life is heading. So here we have got people who are of wide range, despite people mostly agreeing that the music is most responded by younger audience. 21 Pilots also appeals to a wide variety of ages, so we weren't completely right. There was other fans that liked their kind of style. And then we've got, I agree with this because Tyler and Josh talk about depression and anxiety. Tyler and Josh are great, amazing and inspiring role models. So relatability seems to be key with all the fans really, because people like to relate to their lyrics, music, and they see themselves as an outcast and strugglers in society due to their mental health that both band members have also struggled with, and so they want to seek escape from their personal issues, so they turn to the band and their lyrics for a chance of escape, which is our assumptions.
And then our overall findings is that we found that we were quite correct. Majority of the time we were correct with our assumptions and they matched with the Struggler. But we also found some things did match with the Explorer, which we were surprised by, and that was for the need for discovery, challenging new frontiers. And in quite a lot of the questions they wanted something different, something new, and then also they wanted to try new ideas, new experiences, which we think is probably the band as a whole. There's something different and they're new, so that's what appeals to the fans. And then also their difference is what they seek out, which is quite predominant in all of our answers.
And then to support the 4C of the Explorer, we chose the aesthetic with ski mask for kimonos and shoes, hazmat suits, red eye stuff for Josh, blurry face, neck and hands is so genius. People thought that the way they present themselves on stage and with how they interact with fans is so different and not something that's really been done before, and they're really unique in that way, and they're challenging the new aesthetics that society have kind of banned and creating these new experiences for audience seems to be very, very important for the fans, and the difference is key. All these seem to strongly match the 4C for the Explorer. They have many aspects musically that set them apart, so once again, just difference in general. They have influences from all these other bands and these other genres, but they seem to come together to create this difference that goes to lots of fans that are seeking for this kind of escape and difference. So compared to other bands, it's important. Individuality and uniquenesses in talents makes the band alternative and attractive to fans.